If you've been around for a few years, you may remember that a while back there was all sorts of talk about cloning, how we were going to eventually clone human beings and all the moral and ethical and political challenges that was going to raise. Would clones have rights? Who would be allowed to clone? Could we really have a future like the science fiction movie where Gattaca, where clones were bred to provide replacement parts for naturally born human beings? Now, all of that disappeared when it appeared, according to research, that human beings could not be cloned. That's because nobody was able to succeed. They cloned a sheep, famously, many years ago, Dolly the sheep. But once it was learned that human beings could apparently not be cloned because they couldn't clone any primates, they tried with monkeys and I believe orangutans and other of our primate brothers and sisters, if you will, with no luck. So that the whole cloning debate kind of faded away. Well, it's back. And the reason why it's back is because researchers have produced 2 clone monkeys. So if they can clone monkeys, the logic is their DNA is so similar to our own that it is very possible that they will be able to clone human beings. Now, when I say this is a debate going back a ways, I should point out that the first essay in The Atlantic about the challenges of cloning was published in 1971. James Watson, who won the Nobel Prize. He was against cloning, and then he was for it. He even went so far as to suggest that germline modification could, quote unquote, could tackle stupidity and could, quote, ensure that all women were, quote unquote, pretty. So you see, cloning and the debate around cloning tells us a lot about who we are, if not who clones might be. Now, what is the future of cloning? We don't really know. Every major government has outlawed it, but it seems to be a principle of technology that once it is invented, sooner or later it will be used. Does that mean we're going to see a rush of bad news science fiction movies? I don't particularly look forward to that, but if the science fiction movies will help us debate and ponder and reflect on the ethical issues we now face, maybe it's worth the sacrifice.